Hello, it's me again. So, we're gonna get to more serious one. Everyone likes when I talk about serious stuff, so I'm gonna get right to the really hard one. Loss. Have any of you ever dealt with loss? Now, you could leave a comment down below and talk about it. I will read it. Trust me, I've read all the other comments I've gotten. It's just, that's like one thing that it's really hard to talk about at all because I've experienced loss with family. I lost friends. I lost people to suicide. I lost people to car crash. I've lost a lot. So I'm going to ask you, how did you deal with loss? I remember the day I've lost one of my friends. First ever time I was 12 years old. Lost a friend named Tyler. He ended his life. I'm not going to say how and when. I'm just going to say that he did it on his own terms. As a young kid, that is the most, I would say, very traumatic thing to have a friend you've been talking to for, I feel I was talking to her for a good almost a year. Just to, gone. They're gone. No way to tell you, no nothing to say. They're just gone, and you can't do anything about it. At 12 years old, it's hard to understand. I did cry. I was upset. I had no clue. I didn't, because at that point, only time I lost people was because of natural death, like causes, and thought that was the only way because I didn't really think that someone could do it themselves. And then it happened. So I'm asking you, how did you do it? I dealt with it with crying, playing games, distracting myself. I did get over it over about a couple weeks because I knew you had to, because I didn't dwell too much about death as much. And then it happened again. I lost another friend. Her name was Zoe. I was 13. She was also 13. That was another extremely traumatic experience. It just happens. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to say. And it's hard for me to talk about this because I am getting almost teary. So I'm just going to keep going. It's hard. There's lots of stuff. I lost my dog. That right there, of all deaths and all things I've ever experienced, someone you've been growing up with since childhood to adulthood, gone within, it was about a span of a couple days. It only happens. You don't know. Half the time when people do it or decide to, it's shocking because they are happy every day with you, and then they're just not. You don't know. They're always so happy. That's the part that hurts everyone, is that they are so happy. They look like the usual self. But then they're just gone, and I don't know what to do. I've lost many I lost 4 people to suicide. So now it's just hard to really grasp it sometimes. I don't know with you if you want to share your experience, but it's hard to talk about. It's really hard. It's extremely hard to talk about loss because it's one of those things that anyone that can relate to, it's just horrible. Myself, I've tried. I'm not even jokingly say I've tried. It just sucks. You hit the lowest point of your entire, the lowest, it feels, the absolute bottom of your life. And sometimes, even as a kid, I could look back and regret that I didn't even try. That's just something I regret. I know I do. But I look past it. I haven't done it in about 4 to 5 years now. So I'm perfectly fine. I don't need to do it. It's just something, even trying to lose a part, instead of life and stuff, losing a part of yourself is still hard. I lost that part of myself that just was really fun. I used to be outgoing all the time, energetic. I'm still am, but I'm not that kid anymore. You lose that part of you. That's just growing up. Everyone does that. But the part that's hard is that little innocence that you had as a kid, that part of you that you could have lost growing up. You could have gotten taken away by someone. Someone could have done something to you, and I don't want to get into that stuff because that stuff is deep. That stuff will hurt to talk about. That stuff can be taken away. And then when you grow up, you want to go back to it. There's nothing good though. Some people have grown up and had nothing growing up. Not those good experiences. We had those times where some people, I'm going to say myself, I'm not going to say too much, but things that you thought were normal as a kid are not. They're not normal. And you question wait, that's not normal? I thought everyone goes through this same experience as me, like losing someone, having this stuff happen to them. No, apparently not. There's things that we could all relate to. Getting yelled at parents and just getting grounded or punished. Some kids don't. Those are spoiled. But I'm just saying, like, we've experienced some things, but we can't relate with everything. That's the hard part. It's trying to relate. You try to relate to someone that this hurts you. This is bad. This is something that I thought everyone dealt with. And so I went through middle school not explaining this stuff, but sometimes I did with some friends. I was able to relate. I'm like, oh, this seems normal, because you encapsulate. Oh my God, you get the group of people, right, that you go around and we can relate to. You get those crowds of people that have the same experience, and you take it as, yeah, this is my crowd of people. I guess happens to everyone. And then you get to like other crowds of people that don't have those experiences. I know a lot of people that haven't experienced loss yet. Most people experience loss with their grandparents. That's just more or less of life because they're old. It's just natural causes. Things happen like that. But parents, I've have some people that I've known that lost their parents. Have some people that lost friends just like me. It's tough. It's extremely tough, but it's more tough. I'm not gonna say it's more tough on everyone, but as a kid, comprehending this kind of stuff, comprehending loss is such a astronomically hard thing to do, because it's just, I don't think a kid should really go through that kind of stuff. It's so life-changing. It switches how you think immediately. And so I'm asking you, if you already left a comment or already plan on to, what is something you've done to get over it? What I've done, I'm more creative. I mean, I know that my friends would have wanted me to continue. No one wants to do this to bear someone. You don't do things like that to bear on someone. It hurts. I would say some people, I myself, I hate this when people said it's selfish. In some terms, it can be, but it's not. There's a lot of it is selfish in some ways, sorry. But it's not meant to be that. It's just such a really difficult thing to talk about, because no matter what crowd you get to, who do you talk to? How do you talk to them about it? This thing could get very difficult and like angry quickly. That's what the hard part about this. Some people could take this a really bad offense, like, I don't want anyone to talk about this around me. And I get it. When I was 16, I lost another friend. And she was 16 also. That's another thing. These people, it's just so tough. You lose people just because there's stress in other people's lives. And I'm asking you, if you find someone that's stressed and like going through stuff, at least be there for them. That's the one thing you do when you lose someone, is you regret. You keep regretting. You regret that you weren't there. You regret that you couldn't help them. You regret that you could have been there that day, said something, and helped change their mind. But don't live with that regret like I did for many, many days. I cried for hours, days almost, thinking about it, because I could have been there. I could have hopped on call with them. I could have hanged out with them. I could have done these things to change their mind. But I didn't, because I wasn't there. I didn't know. You don't know. A lot of people will blame themselves, like, I could have known. Like, there's some signs you pick on later, but you didn't know at the time. No one knows when this is going to happen. No one knew when this stuff was going to happen. No one in my family knew that I even tried for many, many, many years. No one knew. You had no way to tell. I'm a happy guy. You see me all the time. I don't change. But in private, and when I'm very stressed, things can just snap. Different mood, don't want to care. It's just things change with you. This is a very serious episode, and I know that already, but it's something I want to talk about. It's just hard to get out in words because, it's still on those deep topics that I am very passionate with. And I know if you probably read in the comments, I'm sorry. I get it. Don't be sorry for me. I've moved on. I know they would want me to move on from all the stuff that's ever happened. So, thank you for listening. This is yet again about 10-minute episode. Let me check. It is. But share your experiences, and I don't know, what do you do? I just try to be more happy and just not focus on things like this anymore. Well, that's the end of this episode. Hope you enjoy, and toodaloo.